Bite Me, huh?
No, I like Bite Me, actually.
Bite
Wait,
Me's
is
all
yours Bite You? Yeah, I like that, actually. And I think we're live. For those of you who have just joined us, we are experiencing some scheduling difficulties. Apologies for the slight slow start there, but we're in the process of getting rolling. We'll get there eventually.
Joel sends these new toys, just springs these new toys on us, like, you know,
Sorry.
Here it is, and of course we're distracted with doing this.
Yeah, but it's worth it, though, isn't it?
I guess.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
What's up, folks?
Hey, calm down, Ryan.
Oh, Ryan's there already? All right.
Yeah, he's like, oh, come on, get on with it. And I'm like, calm down, Ryan.
Hey,
Sorry.
Brian. How's it going, buddy? All right.
Sorry.
Why, is there a live chat window somewhere?
Yeah, if you go out to YouTube,
YouTube. Okay, so
YouTube live feed, and you'll see our chat out to the side.
Communicast.
Yeah, that thing. You know, the show you're on right now.
Oh, what's that? What this is?
Oh, really?
Oh, by the way, Nick, you were asking me. 67 is our low tonight.
Easy now.
Hey, we're live, but not recording. So you.
Yeah, but that's all right. We still don't want to
behave, please.
Yep.
Yeah, if we can.
Behave, kids. Low of 50. Low of 59 on Tuesday.
Yeah, but that's all right. We still don't want to
behave, please. Oh, whoa! Who's echoing over there?
Nice echo.
Make sure that you mute then, Freddy boy. That didn't take. Oh, thank you, Mr. Goff. I really appreciate
that's
that.
Robert. How you doing, Robert?
Yep, Robert. Thank you, sir.
David, hey.
Oh,
there's Brian.
Mr. David Jones, how are you, sir? Oh, by the way, David, before we move much further, thank you so much for your service.
Absolutely. Happy day late Veterans Day. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you very, very much. Sorry.
What's up, Bill?
Okay.
As you can tell, guys, we're off to a whopping start. While we get ourselves organized here.
Yeah, I'm just setting up everything too.
I'm trying to get rid of the Bite Me down there because I think that's kind of rude of me to say.
You have to.
I actually think
Hey, Brian, what's up, brother?
Turn the toggle off and back on. It'll disappear.
Maybe you're talking about a propeller bite.
No. I was talking. You literally bite me.
Yeah. Like you were trying to say to your dog yesterday. That was pretty entertaining. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, that guy. Oof, it was foul. That was just foul.
It was really, really entertaining. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, and just so you know, Andre and or Chris may try to call me tonight, and if they do, I'm going to put them on.
Please do.
I'm going to.
Put them on the spot. I'm good with that.
We're not like them. We will answer our phones.
Yeah, unlike them, you know, I care about their show, but they don't care about my show.
No.
I see how that works.
What show is that again?
That would be the RC After Hours podcast with coordinated turns.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Love that story.
Did you see the shirt that I'm wearing this evening, there, Mikey?
Yes, I do. I see some cheap pass motor and an X-Hover Win 5 frame.
Yeah, except, you know, I skipped the box with that frame in it.
Because, you did?
Yeah. I needed to take a month off, so that was the one I skipped.
That's too bad. It's a nice frame.
It is. It is. Though, admittedly, I'm kind of glad I did because the color of the shirt that came in was meh. Oh, look at you!
Wait,
what color is meh?
Over there? Meh is sickly green.
Oh, what's that, Fred?
Doesn't suit me very.
This is the flight test FT270. It's their 6-inch camera.
Is there anything in the box?
Yeah, I haven't put it together yet.
Son of a biscuit.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Hey, is that one of those Flex Innovation Cessnas behind you?
Oh, it is indeed.
Oh man.
Oh,
Nice.
you. Oh,
Color me jealous.
yeah. I
Yeah, no
definitely have
kidding.
to agree with that.
And I'm looking forward to getting to fly it some more. I got to do some test flights with it at the Halloween event.
Okay.
Oh, really?
So,
I haven't flight.
So how about we
So-
get this thing started, guys?
Well,
Okay.
I would love to,
Okay.
but I'm having some technical issues getting my recording equipment going. But I just
Patrick's
literally
going up to
finished.
the black box on my bottom row.
So test 1, 2. Yep, we're going to get there. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
4.
All right, you guys keep doing the testing. I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good.
Fred always runs off.
Yep.
It's
Here we
gonna
go.
be-
Probably knowing him. Actually,
What's-
you know what? It's probably his wife calling him.
Yeah, probably.
What's with the severed heads in the background there?
Where are you looking?
Top on the shelf. Straight back.
What?
Oh my god. Yeah, Fred. What?
Oh, Fred.
Look at Fred's video.
Oh, there. Oh, dear goodness gracious.
What is he up to down there?
We don't even want to know.
Does anyone know?
Yeah,
Does
you're
anyone
probably
want to know?
I mean, he did try to kill me, so
This is true.
Well,
but then again, there is someone else after your head after the last weekend as well. We'll go into that.
oh, did he find out?
I don't think so, but he still seems to be acting cordial about everything.
No, wait. Did you see the new video he put out? The
No.
why what is it? Why Mr. Steele flies the it's one of his new videos. I happened to
Oh.
skim through it, and at one point he mutes himself out, but he's like, "We're making a better effing show than," and you can read his lips, and it's Rotor Riot.
Well, whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's still getting into stuff. It's
Well, you're still my hero right now.
well, and that's partially what we're talking about. So
All I can say is that boy's my hero. Of
yes, it was.
course, if I'd have been down there, you wouldn't have had any stickers left.
oh, trust
You,
me.
you were actually really kind in the locations that you put him on that van.
Yes.
Well, I stopped the video, and I did put a few more on that didn't get on that video.
Oh,
But
yeah.
there were so many people starting to walk around and everything, and I'm like, oh crap! All I need is for someone just to say something.
Nah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have cared.
Well, I wouldn't have either.
It was just really fun to be able to, not only before I did it, I was talking with him,
Mm.
and then after I did it, I went back to the van and talked with him, and he showed me the inside of the van and everything.
Yeah. He actually spoke more words this time I met him compared to Flight Fest 16. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw Stingy, by the way, guys. Stingy
Yeah.
sends his regards to everybody.
Oh,
That's
very nice.
cool.
I just love.
Yeah, that was hysterical.
I wanted to see his face when he found that last one that was still there.
It's hilarious. Well, he would have had a stop on the way back to Atlanta, I am sure.
Oh, of course.
I am
course.
sure of that. It's
Fred has returned.
With
Fred's
Oh,
returned.
Fred's
All
got
right.
coffee.
No.
That's what he went and grabbed.
no, I didn't go to the gas station. No, this is hot cocoa.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, that's right. This guy doesn't drink coffee.
well, only
Not
gas
good coffee
station
anyway.
Weird human.
He doesn't drink lemonade either, but
Oh yeah, that's
He
what they
doesn't-
say, right?
He doesn't drink while watching Finding Bigfoot either.
Oh yeah.
I do.
We all
There's
know the
nothing
story
without-
behind there. All right, guys, we're ready to get this thing on the road. I am
Let's
not
do it.
starting tonight because I am technically a guest.
I got this.
All right,
Yeah.
Pat, hang on 1 second. Give me 1 sec to grab my sweet tea. I'll be back in literally half a second.
Get me a beer while you're up.
Yeah, give me one too.
headlights, taillights, mirrors. Oh, there was a ton more. There was like all 4 hubcaps. There was up at his rear view camera on the backup camera. There were stickers all over.
It was very, very entertaining. I have to agree. All right, guys. Whenever you are ready, I am ready.
Fred left.
Again?
Fred just walked out. Just walked out.
Would you cut that out, dude? Goodness gracious. He's impossible. We can't even hold him down for 5 minutes. No wonder Freefall gets fed up with him.
Oh no, I just put them on mute now. I go do customer service stuff. But no, see, I'm noticing my mug is a bit on the barren side.
Oh, really?
Oh, I ought to get my mug.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm representing Greek life out there, guys. Greek life. Got to represent.
All better.
Nice.
Yeah, sure.
That's
Put a sticker
that's
on it.
professional
I was,
quality right there.
I, was,
Fred.
I, was, I was a frat boy, all right? So it's all good.
Hey, I found one of those today.
I actually keep a bunch of these in my toolbox so I can hand them
Oh,
out.
hang on. I have one of those. Because when I built the Super Bee, we'll get there. Here you go. How about this? Oh, son of a biscuit! I tore one.
Hey, I thought we were starting this.
Yeah, we were about to, but then you got up and walked away.
Oh, like you needed
All right,
me.
I think we're ready. I think we're just about ready to start now.
All right, we good to go?
I think so. I got my
What
product placement in there, so we're good.
What episode is this?
39.
39. Okay. We good?
I'm ready when you are.
All
5
right.
seconds
Oh,
of
let me get off
baseline.
of the. There we
5
go.
seconds of baseline. Here we go. You ready?
Hey, everybody! Welcome to episode.
You want to reset and start that again?
No, we're pushing through this. Doing it live. Welcome to episode 39 of the Flight Test Community Cast. Today, joining us, we have Nicholas Simpson and Fred Provost. And today is going to be all about talking about their experiences along with our own Joel Cannon at Flight Fest South that took place last weekend.
Yes.
So, welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and we also have our good friend and host Mike Finley along with us. Don't want to forget you there, Mike.
Where is that fool?
I don't know.
Exclamation mark number
You know,
one.
I think it's like last time you found yourself like back there somewhere, Mike.
Yeah. He don't really need to be on here anyway.
Who the heck are you?
Mike and I are going to take a nap.
Oh, well, let me.
Who am I?
That's Patrick Sean Murphy over there.
It
Where?
is.
Hi.
You'll have to.
I don't blame you for leaving.
Oh, there goes Fred.
Yeah, Fred's gone again.
Fred's gone.
Dude,
With
you
his
say-
severed heads
people
up
say
in the
I
back
have
on the shelf.
What is up with this guy?
Yeah.
Good God, Fred, sit
I
down.
said that we couldn't hold him down. No wonder the free fall guys can't hold him down. But we seriously are gonna have no hope.
Why do you think they never gave him a T-shirt?
That's
Yeah,
all right.
really. That's
You know what? we can listen to Nick talk. It's fine. It'll be just fine.
all day long. All day long.
All right,
Uh,
so to get into this, so I wanted to have Fred on simply because
It's Fred.
It's Fred, and poor Fred has been stuck down in his park for a couple of years, and it's been a couple of years since he was able to get up to Flight Fest in Ohio. But what's he doing now?
Oh goodness
Mike knows.
knows.
I didn't see.
Oh, here, let me see if I can do it for you, Mike. There.
Mike Phelps.
Oh yeah.
So Fred Provost is the beloved flying monkey on the Flight Test Forum and elsewhere on the internet.
The original moderator.
He is the original moderator of the Flight Test Forum, and he is the original volunteer coordinator for Flight Fest. And unfortunately, he has not been able to get to the past couple because of his job responsibilities. And then
busy, Fred.
yes, and so I wanted to get his take on things, and I also wanted to have Nick on because he fed me walking tacos at Flight Fest last year that were really good, and he's a really cool guy. So,
Speaking of, wait a sec. Speaking of walking tacos, Nick,
I'm gonna ask.
did you have the ones that were at the hangar lounge?
No.
Oh, you missed out there.
No,
Pretty good.
I did.
I've never heard of walking tacos, and it sounds like a bad after effect of Mexican food.
Yes, yes, it is.
Kind of is.
Coming and going.
Andrew, how you doing, buddy? So anyway, continue, Pat.
So anyway, Nick, for people that don't know, he lives somewhere up north in Wisconsin or Michigan or one of those cold places, right?
Michigan, isn't it?
Middle
Michigan.
of cold, freezing town.
Yeah. So one day, we're chatting on Facebook or something like this, and he's like, "Man, I wish I could go to Flite Fest South." And then 2 seconds later, he's like,
posted.
"Oh, I'm going to Flite Fest South."
Well,
literally, it's like the decision was made like that. Hopped in the truck.
Okay, whoa, hold on. You have to.
So excited.
He IM'd Fred. He IM'd me. He also put a post out on Facebook. Should I do it? And after seeing the 1,000 responses of why would you not go, he said, "Okay, I'm hopping in the truck," and then
And literally, he hopped
the
in the
rest
truck.
is history.
Yeah.
There's slightly more planning to that. I actually did rent a vehicle to go down. As much as I love my old Ford truck, it's pushing. Well, it's over 200,000 miles on it, and
Really? That's it?
yeah. Well, it's still new, so I don't know what those 200,000 miles have done to it. So
Fred thought we were talking about him.
I feel bad for you then, because that Ranger I brought down, the 2,000 some odd mile trip, had over 300,000 miles on that truck.
yeah. But who would you have to take
good.
ice?
But yeah, that was a Monday. That was the 30th that I posted on Facebook that I was really tempted to drive down to Florida.
Yeah, and then the next day you were driving to Florida. It seemed literally.
It was like, all right, yeah, I'll so many people were responding, and of course TJ had to come in. He's start driving. Let's go, get you down here. And yeah, it was like the next day I went into work, and I'm like, can I get Friday off? And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. And so that was it. There's
Sweet.
nothing holding me back. Just packed up, came down.
The
bought a
man is
brand new
young and
tent.
single.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he asked me to save him a spot, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll save you a spot." And at the time, the place was empty, and then by the time he finally did show up, it was full, and he camped somewhere else. Not that mattered because I ended up not sleeping in my tent much that trip, but that's for later.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right, so Fred.
Yeah.
What was your experience like? How was Flite Fest for you? Give us the lowdown. What are your thoughts on the whole situation?
In short, amazing. I went to the first two Flite Fests, obviously, as the flight test volunteer coordinator, and that is a role that keeps you busy. So kudos to Andre for the last few years, what he's been doing. I went in to this with the idea I was just going as a spectator, or wasn't going to do any, help out with a little volunteer work. But that's not how it ended up. I ended up spending a lot of time at the store and with the STEM tent.
Not surprised.
That experience just blew me away.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
I think you're underestimating time spent in the store.
Yes, I think virtually the entire event Fred spent in the store. I don't think I saw him on the flight line more than twice.
Now, I'll say that was honestly the most rewarding experience I had, was working in the store. We had a lot of folks coming in that they're looking for their first airplane. Moms were in there with their kids trying to find out what to set them up with. And so I did a lot of guiding them towards their first kit, their first build, their first airplane. Or we had some one mom and son that came in. They had already bought the FT Scout, tried it out, and had some issue with it, and came in and worked with them quite a bit on how to get the plane in the air, or advice on the next plane. And the kid, he was all excited. The bug had bit him. He was ready to buy like 10 more planes, and they had to go on a plane back to Boston. So yeah, that wasn't going to work. So I ended up actually talking them out of a sale. Don't tell Josh.
That's fucking sales right there.
The mom had the look of relief on her face as I actually talked him back off that edge, because she was trying to figure out how she was going to pay for the baggage claim the baggage fees for the stuff that he was wanting to buy, and she was going to buy it for him. But I said, spend the extra in shipping. It's going to be cheaper than what they're going to hit you at the airline.
Yeah,
so
For sure.
Yep.
But that's it in a nutshell. I mean, as I said on the Free Fall RC podcast, that I could do a whole episode on just the experience on that.
Well, that's why we're
doing.
Well, this is from Bill Cyborg.
Nice.
There you go, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill.
Very nice. Very nice. Can you shoot me that track and I'll just sub it in?
Now,
great.
there was no shocking of the monkey, but there was some attacks from Noah, Josh's son, and we're not going to discuss that.
Why are we not surprised?
Yeah, there's some pictures online that illustrates what we're talking about. He's kind of going like this.
Does he like to twist nipples like his father does?
There was some of that going on between the few folks.
Yep.
Eric from Aviator PPG.
Oh yeah, he loves
grabbing
doing that.
Slightly inappropriate.
Yep.
It was the whole thing was quite the adventure.
Good people, really good people.
Yeah, come to Flight Fest South. Homoeroticism abounds. It's great.
Yeah.
Always a good time. Always a good time.
We love each other quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite inappropriately.
Yeah, I haven't been to a Flite Fest yet where there wasn't some inappropriate touching.
I don't know if that's something that we want to advertise to.
That's the only reason I go.
That's the only reason I drive 13 hours.
Yeah,
That's
really.
right.
Oh boy. All right. Moving swiftly on. All right, Nick, how was your experience?
It was wonderful. I spent most of my time volunteering.
You mean in a golf cart? Shocking, I know.
I did not have that golf cart at first, actually. Austin, I forgot what he was doing. He had to make a run and was getting in his truck. And he's just like, yeah, you hold on to this. You use it. Don't give it to anyone else.
Sounds like East all over again.
Golf carts are at a premium, man.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Wait for a golf cart.
Now, I'll tell you, I enjoyed the walking. My wife has had me on a diet, which I posted that I was violently deviating from on that trip.
Yeah, well, it was a little difficult to stay on any kind of semblance of diet, especially there was we'll talk what grub was available, but it made it very, very difficult for anyone who was dieting to do anything of the sort.
Well, okay, let's talk about this diet that Fred's wife has him on. It appears to be more like torture to me. So he posted
Must be
this
why
picture,
he was getting Taco Bell.
He posted this picture of a sandwich. I'm using air quotes, right? Sandwich.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, maybe a slice of ham.
No, it was
inside a cucumber. The cucumber was, what kind of sandwich has a cucumber?
Actually, that's my fault. I found that online and sent it to her, so she punished me with. Made it for me. So.
Here, honey, here's a joke.
You,
well, joke's on you now.
That's right.
I noticed that there's some pictures of me out there where the effects of sitting down in an office most of the summer was starting to show. So the diet is somewhat voluntary. Yeah, and it's working. I've actually lost 10 pounds or so in a month, and
awesome.
The pictures that they did.
That's what you get when you replace carbs with cucumbers.
Yeah. I'm actually, again, slightly deviating with the hot cocoa and the sugar, but it's a no sugar, no bread sort of thing that, and it's not even zero, but I do limit it, and it's definitely making a difference.
Oh, Andre's actually on.
And,
what?
Mm-hmm.
Who is
Andre Russo is
And
decided
I'm
to
waiting
show
for
up.
a phone call now.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, Joel, your Road to Riot sticker makes me want to go grab mine.
Well, that's why I put it on my head. Duh. We'll get into why there are several stickers on my head a little bit later on. But there
is no good reason. There is a good reason. Okay.
There is a very, very good reason. So anyway, we have some fun stories to share. Anyway, so I have to echo the sentiment of both Nick and Fred. Flite Fest South was really, really fun. It was a particularly special event, of course. The usual crew, who everyone who is in that little gaggle knows who they are. We greatly missed you. But I have to say,
the troublemakers of Flite
yes, exactly. The event itself, though, was incredibly fun. It was great, very rewarding. I spent majority of my time with Dan Cruz and Josh Finn. You seem surprised.
And did you get to meet Josh Finn's twin?
Yes, I did. In fact, I'd actually met him at a previous event because he was over at
Here's the thing.
he was at the swap meet.
Before you got on, I'd answer.
Is that
Oh, he's got Andre on the phone.
Hang on, Andre's on the phone. Hang on a minute.
hang on. Here we go. We're pausing our story for a quick update
Okay,
from
Andre.
Andre
Is
Russo.
Andre coming?
Hello.
Oh,
Hey
there. Congratulations, Andre. You are officially our first call-in guest.
Yeah, he can't hear you. I don't think.
That's okay.
It's going to be a definite
There's going to
delay.
be a significant delay, but that's all right.
YouTube delay, so I won't interfere with the show much longer. Just saying hello.
You're such a bad
And I
liar.
don't know if you
Hey.
noticed, Andre, but I do have the RC After Hours shirt on.
Yeah.
I do notice that. I appreciate that. It looks
we-
awesome.
We need to get. Oh, sorry, that's sticker. We need to get some more sticker bomb action going on. So we'll get.
Yeah, it's a nice delay, but that's an awesome T-shirt. I love it in the yellow.
Oh yeah, that's why I got it, because it had to be Cub Yellow. You know.
You got it. That's
Yep.
so sweet. All right, I'm gonna let you guys get back into this. Is delays.
All right.
I don't want to interfere.
Oh,
with that.
now we got another call in too. All right, bud, we'll talk at you.
Put him on.
Go back.
Bye.
Okay, is Andre gone?
Yeah, Andre's gone, but now
Okay.
say hello to Luis Rusi.
Oh my God!
Oh, call back, Luis.
Call back.
Fine. And what for the next show? We got to figure out, like, I don't know. We got to figure out a call in thing like After Hours is trying to do. But I like our voicemails. So guys, if you
Well,
do
I wish they
actually
would call our voicemail.
yeah, if you guys want to call our voicemail, you should feel free to do so. Anyway, so what I think we should do, because as you guys can tell, we're all a little bit delirious and a little bit out of it.
I need another beer.
Yeah, exactly right.
Give me one, Pat.
I don't know how good the show is going to be, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, so if you guys would like to call our voicemail, I can actually download the voicemails and play them on the air as we go. So if you guys would like to call our voicemail, it's 802-465-FTCC. That's
Hold on, let me
802
get my phone.
802-465-FTCC.
Professional podcasting right there.
Yeah, exactly. It's good times.
Hey, if we're not having fun, there ain't no need in doing it.
Exactly right. Exactly right. I feel like this is going to be more for those of you who are listening to the recorded version of the show. I apologize. It is one of those shows that might be a little bit video heavy. So I highly recommend, if you haven't done so already, hop over to our YouTube channel and make sure that you're subscribed so you can catch our shenanigans live on air. Anyway,
now.
Yeah, this is gonna be a
continuing-
video to share.
Continuing here, I'll type the number 802-465-FTCC. There you go. All of you who want to call, the number is in live chat.
That's right.
Anyway,
Call now.
all right. So, continuing from my story. So, I think that what was so nice. Fred alluded to it a little bit. Is that the size of the event was really, really nice. It was like, I think maybe they maxed out at 400 pilots. Friday was super nice and quiet. It was absolutely beautiful. There was not a ton of people. I think we were at 25% registered entries Friday during the day. And then it picked up over the weekend. And it not at one point did the flight line feel overloaded or too busy at any point.
But it was always steady.
It was steady.
a good even amount of number of people out there, so there was always some flying going on, but it just wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't crowded feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
If you definitely wanted to, you could hold off of flying if there was too many people, wait like 5-10 minutes, and it would be dead. There'd be no one on the field for like 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden everyone would rush back up.
Yeah,
They went back, changed batteries, came back.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think what was also nice is that I think you could really get a sense of how many people were at the event based on the number of people participating in combats. I think that very first combat on Friday, I think there were maybe 4 airplanes in the air.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was a slow start, but I think it ended up working out really nicely by the end of it. By Saturday, I think it certainly had picked up. There were definitely more than 30 or 40 people flying in that first combat.
Yeah, I remember hearing something. I think it was Saturday evening. There were like 1,500 total people.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's good.
And there were still people showing up.
Mm-hmm. In fact, they what Austin was saying is they reached something like 95% of those who pre-registered, and then on top of that, they had about, I think they said 50 or 60 who walked in without pre-registering. Me being one of them.
Yeah.
Wait. You didn't pre-register?
I did not pre-register, and the only reaon that I did not pre-register.
Does anyone think I pre-registered?
I'm gonna say no.
Did you even
You didn't get that discount rate?
No discount rate. Walked in, is signed up as a pilot even. Didn't even fly. Yep. Paid my way in, and that was good. I'm happy to be there, though.
I snuck in on Wednesday night, and I was telling them, Andre and Josh and all that, I was giving them a countdown on how far away I was, and apparently they were rushing based on that. They got out of there like before I got there.
Nice.
So, yeah. Next time I'm going to lie about what time I have as far as my destination.
I'll be there in 2 hours. Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Surprise!
But I got greeted by Miles, and the funny thing is, so there's Miles running around in the golf cart, and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Fred." I didn't recognize who it was. He's like, "Yeah, we've met."
He's like, "Yeah, I know, jackass."
The sad thing is, I met Miles at night, so it's not like I've got to know him in the daylight and knew what he looked like. So I should have known what he looked like in shadow.
Wait. Are you saying he's a vampire or a werewolf or something? He's totally different by day.
Well, no. The first time I met him, he was driving through for a delivery, and the funny thing was, we had actually done a prescribed burn at the park. So I took him for a tour of the burn site at night with all the glowing embers still in the trees and on the ground. So that was kind of a cool trip.
Cool.
But that's not doing it but that was just,
Well, it does, though, because it's all the friends that are getting together.
That's right. And it was kind of cool how Miles, they just kind of went on, Flite Test went on the internet and said, hey, or on Facebook said, hey, we need somebody to drive all our crap to Florida. And Miles was like, okay.
No, actually, not to take credit, but that was all me. I contacted Miles. You were able to drive truck? And he said, yeah, let me check on that. And he caught contact with them, and they said, next thing I know, he's telling me, he says, yeah, I'm going to be driving for him. I said, that's awesome. So
that is
great.
Awesome.
Even if it was your doing, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Can guess who was on the phone just then. Allison sends her regards to everybody. So,
hi, Allison.
Meanwhile, while I was on the phone, I was setting up. We did just receive a couple of voicemails, so give me a few minutes, and we'll have those voicemails come on here as well. So, but anyway, you were speaking about Miles in the truck.
I will answer a question I saw on there. Jim had asked if I had done any of the paramotor stuff. Not yet. No. I did get in touch with Eric, though. He and I talked, and it looks like I'm going to be getting lined up with a guy up here in Pensacola. Talked to my boss today about taking some time off this winter, and going to see about doing the week-long training with the guy that's local.
Nice.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so what Fred's talking about is he actually owns a paramotor and has for a couple of years now.
Yes, embarrassingly enough, yes, I have. I've had it, owned it, and haven't flown it yet.
Yeah, funny, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're taking the safe route and not DIYing this whole thing, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
It's definitely something I would love to do.
Ryan had asked how do they compare to
Yes.
Flight Fest 1? I have no idea. Again, with the two completely different ways of experiencing it. With Flight Fest 1, the first one up in Ohio, as the volunteer coordinator, I wasn't there to participate and enjoy. We stayed busy. We had a really good large crowd, and we didn't know what we were doing, and there was a lot of learning.
Yeah.
And so this one, night and day difference, by far much more enjoyable. I got while I did work a lot of time in the store, that was every single bit of it was interacting with the people that I would have wanted to go out and talk to anyway. So I got to hang out with more people helping out in the store than if I was walking up and down that flight line.
Cool.
I'll chip in on this one because I spent quite a bit of time talking with the ladies of Flight Test and about how the feeling of the event. It definitely had that first Flight Fest feeling, but with all that knowledge and all the backups and everything that was set in place to make sure the event would go smooth, was there and it was ready and it worked out great.
And I have to agree. I think the size of the event is what kind of lended it to be to feel more intimate and to feel. But and the other thing I was talking to Jen and I was talking to Josh about it a little bit. I think the whole feel of the event was very, I don't know, compared to Ohio. In Ohio we always say we feel like it's always go 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 go, like pedal to the metal, always keep on hammering through. This event felt more relaxed, if that makes sense. It felt very laid back, like there was no rush to do anything or rush to go anywhere or rush to, like, if a combat was happening, there was no rush to get to the flight line to participate in it, because
that's the whole Southern vibe, man.
Right.
Part of it, you had a lot more laid back group. And it was something that they know how to do now. They've already gotten the travel events out of the way, and they learned how to make that work. And it was a good, comfortable sized crowd.
It was very, very, and also, what was nice about it is that it never at any point felt overcrowded. The build tents had a steady, but that's the store. That's kind of like the place that everyone starts off. But I don't know. And at any point, I always saw open tables in the build tent. There was only one build tent, about the same size as the one of the build tents in Ohio. Yeah. But the store was a little bit smaller than this year's Flight Fest in Ohio, but marginally. And I still feel that there was enough space that everyone could go around and do everything that they wanted to do. One thing that I really liked that they tried to do for East that ended up working out really nicely was having that extra space along the flight line that everybody could set up their pop-ups or easy ups or chairs or something that they could just gear up, throw a plane up whenever they felt like it, bring it back and charge and do the whole thing over and over again. I think that ended up working out really, really nicely.
Yeah, that was quite nice.
But overall, I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed the event, and it was fun. It was super laid back, and I don't think at any point I felt rushed or the desire to like race towards something because I thought that I was going to miss something.
I'll tell you something was different with this one than the first two. Flight Test crew, you could tell that they've definitely matured. They've gotten to be a team and a family. Not that it wasn't the first time, but I mean there was a lot of stress that first one, and even the second one. But I mean, just the genuine camaraderie, and everyone's just helping everyone. It was just everyone knew their part in the event and on the team, and it was just amazing to watch the flight test crew, Austin, Alex, even the new guys, Ian and Matt. They were a hoot, man. I loved hanging out with them.
Yeah. I was going to say, you never met Ian or Matt previously.
No, not previously. I never met TJ before. So a few of the guys on the team that I haven't met in person until this event. But the store was a real store. I mean, it was just like with grass floor.
Well, you hadn't seen what we did in 16 that allowed it to look and feel like an actual store. A lot of the work that Jen and actually Pat was one of the ones who helped burn the thing. Pat and Mikey was there to do a lot of the setup as well. Nick was there doing folding T-shirts, and
it was Josh
Orchard. There were a lot of people there who originally established that first store format.
The thing is, this was all Jen's vision. I mean, the awesome crates, the whole layout, the product displays that Josh built after work in his at his house in his garage. The kit displays. Yeah. It's awesome. I mean,
Jeff Nolan I hadn't met before, and he's apparently responsible for a lot of those wooden displays too.
Yes.
Chad's a talented.
Chad Lewis is a building cool, man.
And you met him for the first time too, Fred, because you
no, I actually met him. He was
that's right. He wasn't part of the team. That's right.
Yeah, he's been a volunteer every year.
But definitely important person, helping out at the previous events.
That's right.
But I'll tell you, the store. I mean, the structure is one thing. But the people, they had a phenomenal setup at the register with Jen and
Bob,
Elizabeth and Bob and Linda and Jim Bixler was there for a while helping out.
Mike and Pat, I meant to tell you.
Did he go down?
He went down. His regards. Yeah, he was down for 2 nights. He managed to pick up a super last minute deal and join us down at the event. It was a lot of fun. So he sends his regards to both of you. Funny story, he totally forgot who I was.
That's not funny.
It's pretty funny.
It is if you understand the fact that I was there for the entire conversation that he had in regards to teaching his children about a certain thing. And for those parents out there who understand that certain thing, you'll understand why it was so funny being present for that conversation.
Which we can't talk about here.
No, which is why I'm being very, very, very careful about the way I'm wording it.
I'll go back to my comments on the store then. So the register folks, you had myself and some volunteers out on the floor. But I'll tell you what was awesome was the quad corner. I don't know if you saw the sign for that.
Yep. The KWAD corner.
KORNER. Yeah. So Ian and Chad and Matt were which was he's an awesome salesman. I mean, as far as not trying to just sell stuff, but he knows his stuff and he was good with the people. Ian sat down and he had his laptop out doing work on quads all the time, like tech support, like your Genius or one of those type things. So I mean, that whole thing went awesome. I thought that was phenomenal. I had more people. I had a guy that was all stressed out and frustrated with his quad he had bought, and with a couple of moments with Ian on the computer, they were able to get it straightened out, fixed the flight control firmware, and had him up and going, and the guy was thrilled.
Sure.
So I mean, you wouldn't be able to get that.
Eddie Black needs to talk to Matt then.
Is he having some technical issues?
Yes, he is.
Ian's the guy that does the tech. Matt will sell him something, but Ian will fix it for him.
Okay.
And so it was so cool because I work with Ian to a degree through customer support, and never in person. And so we're sitting down together. I'm doing like the questions and stuff, getting helping get straightened out, and he's narrowing it down to the finer points. And we were able to solve a customer support issue live together. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Ian's a great kid too, man. He's just fun to be around. Yeah. He's always upbeat and just really good kid.
Oh, good positive energy out of both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Matt's great too. We got to actually, Pat and I got to hang out with him over at Josh and Jen's house one night. Has a quad that is the most terrifying thing that Pat and I have heard in our life.
The next step up from the Gremlin.
Oh,
no, I don't know.
This is
What
a 5-inch.
Then I'm not gonna say anymore. That thing is amazing.
No, this is he flies. It's 2 blades, so the noise it makes is just horrendous. And it's
the bicopter.
No, it's not a bicopter. It's a quad.
He's not running like tri-blades or quad blades on it. He's running just regular 2-blade props on this 5-inch quad.
And it just sounds like it's slicing the air with a dull knife, just whack, 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 whack. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Only much faster.
Yeah, much faster. It is. Wow, it's impressive.
Looking at some of these, a lot of the people are talking about just about how the flight test guys are really blessed to have such a great way to earn a living and atmosphere, friendly family, fun, and it pays the bills. You can't beat that, man. Those guys do have a pretty good deal going.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they got a nice setup, man. It's well, and you know what? All of us sitting here, we all of us would say, yeah, man, I would love to be able to make a living doing that. But I mean, these guys have paid their dues, man. They've put a lot of hard work into it, and it can't be easy. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, it's got to be hard. I mean, it's got to do everything that they do. Even though they're having fun while doing it, and it's something that most people would do for entertainment, to do it for a job and to be successful as they seem to be at it, that's a lot of work, man.
Well, and they do a good job. I know that's part of Josh wants to keep that fun and friendly atmosphere and not really illustrate so much of the work side of it. But the guys, I mean, the sales and the merchandising and product acquisition and I mean, all the business side of it, these guys do so well that you don't even think about that when you're watching them on the show.
Yeah.
So that's a level of efficiency that,
Yeah, I mean, there's there's a lot going on, that you don't see on camera. I mean, they're running a business, and I would assume rather successfully. So I certainly hope so.
Now I did get to hang out with Noah quite a bit, and it's funny, man. He's a hoot. So he's talking about how people at school know him because of his father.
Okay.
And how awkward has that got to be? That your dad is cooler than you because he's a school.
I think that Noah would probably argue with you on that.
Yeah, I have to agree. I have to agree with Mikey on that a little bit. Sorry.
Well, it's what he said. So he's like, maybe not in exactly those words, but yeah, Noah was funny about it. He's all these people know his father and and like his father, so yeah.
And not him. Sorry, Noah.
Well, I have a question about the whole South.
Go for it.
I know there was. You had your RC flight line, you had the FPV. I heard there was an active runway there as well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And how was that handled?
Excellent
That
question.
that is pretty crazy.
It was handled incredibly well, and I have to admit, while we're on the subject of talking about how the field was managed, I have to give a huge. Well, yeah, we'll get there.
I have the radio.
No, I have to admit the having. Well, so from a distance, right, Nick? So from a distance, the field was managed by the airport manager, and there was an active runway. If you can imagine it, the active runway was running east to west, and then the rest of the flight line was to the north of the east-west runway. The whole event was correct. There was a box that the radio controlled stuff was. Nick, I know you're going to jump in here. There was
I'll
a
let you speak.
box. There was a box that our seaplanes were supposed to fly in for the event, so that the runway could remain active. Then behind the flight line, behind the camping area, there was a helicopter taking off and landing, doing heli stuff, and then there was a large turbofan aircraft that was taking people up for skydiving as well. So go on, and I'll let Nick handle the how was the runway handled.
So yeah, we were on a runway where it was partially being resurfaced, which was awesome for us to have to fly out of. A little rough, but it made flying really nice.
No, if you were hand launching, it wasn't bad. Landings were a little bit.
If you had decent size wheels, you were pretty good. But yeah, so where we're sitting, we're between. Not only do we have an active runway off to your right, but you have an active taxiway with a fuel station behind us, behind the camping area. So not only did
I know
we
what
have,
you're talking. I know what you're going to bring up now.
not only did we have to deal with the active runway and keeping people from flying too far off to the right, but we also had to watch people driving and parking, and the helicopters that were kicking up dust. We had the pits that was taking people up for rides. We had the turboprop that was doing the parachutes, skydivers. We had a ton of stuff we had to watch and pay attention to.
Yeah, and what Nick is alluding to there with the helicopters kicking up dust is on Friday we had a very, very special visit from the United States Coast Guard. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we salute all of the troops and thank you so much for your service to this country and your continued support and dedication to this country. And thank you for your service for Memorial Day yesterday. But anyway, we had the Coast Guard come by. And this is not even a joke when I say a Coast Guard helicopter buzzed the non-active runway, the runway where all of us were lined up with our little model airplanes. Everyone had their planes on the ground, and this incredible Coast Guard helicopter did a flyby, a low flyby across the runway before turning around, landing, and doing meet and greets with everyone who was there.
So apparently he cleaned off the runway for everybody.
Totally cool.
Oh yeah. It was.
Sandblasted.
Yeah, you didn't want to stand too close.
I got that exfoliation treatment that I've been craving for months.
I got to step in for a moment. Early on in the event, we went out to dinner together, the flight test crew and myself, and I was telling them a story. My mom had just sent me a message on Facebook. I love you, Mom. She was a little concerned because she hadn't heard from me all day. Well, I'm posting stuff on Facebook. She can read and see that I'm not dead. But I kind of say, I'm 41 years old, and here's my mom. She's still, wanting to check up on me.
Be a mom.
And Noah gets this look on his face of just horror, and he says, "You mean it never stops?"
That's awesome.
It never does.
No.
You know it, and you hope it never does.
So to fast forward to the helicopter scene, they're doing the live feed. TJ's out there with the phone and doing the live feed. And I
that
get
was
a
great.
message from Mom.
That was great.
The flight test guys are live. Go get on camera.
So your mom was the one that encouraged you to go jump behind TJ.
So if you watch that video again, I do. I pop up behind his shoulder and back down again.
Yep.
So
I'm sitting there watching the live feed, and this guy comes running up. I'm like, oh. And then this head pop.
It's Fred.
And it kind of, when I played it back and watched it, it kind of reminded me of the scene in the Tile episode where they pop my head up for a second on the screen and then back down. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what it was.
So flat Fred instead of flat Pat.
Oh yeah.
That's right. You should have taken flat Pat with you.
Yeah, I should have brought flat. He's actually right here next to me, underneath glass.
You should have taken
Flat Pat should have come.
Glass?
Yes, he's
hard time breathing.
remaining nice and protected.
Well, you left the poor guy out in the wilds of
But
Florida for a year.
I didn't leave him out. He escaped. He ran away.
He was looking for beer.
He was looking for beer.
I found him. He was full.
Oh boy.
I'll drink to that.
So if we're wondering what we're talking about, I printed out a picture of this Safari Explorer with Pat's head on it, and cut it out and put it in tape so it'd be protected from elements, and was taking him different places and photographing him. So
Flat Pat.
And he lost me. He lost me.
No, I didn't lose him.
In Florida for a year.
He escaped. Flat Pat escaped.
Anyway,
Anybody that knows Pat knows that
Okay,
the
so
paper doesn't fall far from the tree.
so moving on. So
Yeah,
I think what we should do is we should start giving some stories of our experience of the event. So I think we should really start with the story that really told the tale
well,
of the entire event.
Hang on a minute.
I think we
There
do
you go.
have one more
Is that
thing.
the one where
to,
I killed Nick?
Or tried to.
I think we do need to finish up the last thing by saying
Yes.
that, like, going back to the flight line and how we managed it. We never really got into that. A lot of the volunteers and everyone who was doing flight line, a lot of the times we were on radio. We did have a marker for like our boundary of where we could fly. So
Bravo, taxiway.
yeah. And we did end up setting up some caution tape, and it's anytime you could hear us on the radio saying, whoever's flying this jet, to anyone who's got a radio, find the pilot, let them know, hey, you're going too far, active runway, stay away from it. That was pretty much just how we handled that. We did it nicely, we did it fairly. A lot of people were very apologetic and also very thankful that we were coming over and telling them before they got into trouble with the airport or anything else.
Yeah,
And-
so I do have one more question about that too. So, did anybody get to talk to the air boss or the airport manager after the fact? And did any pilots have any trouble with any RC stuff, or did they see it and go, "Oh my God, what is it?" or any of that?
So the FAA was there. An FAA representative was actually present at the event the entire time, and I don't think they were called once for any.
I'm not
incident.
asking about an FAA guy. I'm asking about pilots. Did any pilots see the planes and want to come over and check it out? Did they?
Oh, they definitely did.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. Especially the Coast Guard guys seemed intrigued by the idea of flying around foam board airplanes. But yeah, there were. I'm going to reiterate what Andre just said. There was zero issues with the airspace with RC planes interfering with full scale.
No. I don't mean interfering.
No. I know what you mean.
I'm talking about, did they see them as they were flying in, landing, and then did that bring them over? Did it freak them out? Did any of that?
No, everyone was aware of what was going on for the event. Anyone who was coming in and landing, I'm pretty sure, had prior knowledge that this was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything just seemed to go pretty smoothly with every part of it. Yeah, all the pilots and everything, the people were giving rides in the pits, and the helicopter were coming over and checking things out before they started their day. It was pretty good.
Eric Coates of Paradise PPG was wandering in the build tent and talking with a couple of the community members I saw. There was who else was wandering around in there? I know the helicopter guy was wandering around in the build tent a couple of times. I saw him. Not just to recruit people for the visits, but also just generally walking around and enjoying the event. I don't think there were that many planes that landed at the airfield. If they were just coming in and doing quick refuels and anything like that. There was a quick question in here from Robert Goff. Were TFRs issued? No, there were no TFRs.
What about a NOTAM?
Yeah, but
no
TAM.
TAM.
There had to be a no.
I think there was. I don't know the specifics, but I know the FAA was aware that there were restrictions on the runway. That what was nice about it is I think that it ended up timing out quite nicely because they were that the runway that we were flying off of was being resurfaced. So the runway was closed anyway. So
Sure.
the
Yeah,
event,
our runway was already closed off.
right. And so if there was a NOTAM, likely it would have been associated with the runway closure of the runway we were sitting on versus the you know what I mean, instead of.
I got you. So you don't think there was actually an FAA NOTAM issued
Correct.
saying, "Hey, there's an event going on at this airport"?
Correct. I think
that's
if
interesting.
anything, the NOTAM was specifically in regards to the runway closure, because of the resurfacing as opposed to the event.
And to me, this is the kind of thing we need to promote more to the FAA.
Absolutely.
So we can show them that we can, we can play together well.
Yeah.
To me, this is something really, God, and I hope, hell, I'll probably get a hold of Josh and talk to him about this, because to me, this kind of thing is exactly what our hobby needs. So people can get out there and go, okay, we can play together. We can fly in the same airspace and not have any issues and do all those things.
Right.
Exactly.
In the climate of the last 2 to 3 years, with the FAA regulations and the regulations being found unconstitutional, and then now there's grumblings that the FAA is going to reinstitute these with Congress's blessing.
The registration is coming back.
Yeah. So
Never signed up for it. Won't do it again.
I have my reservations about doing it the second time, but this is the kind of thing that needs to be promoted. That this is a responsible hobby where people aren't out to look through your windows. People aren't out to bring down airliners. We're just people who are having fun and
enjoying the hobby,
enjoying a creative outlet with a hobby that has been around for over 100 years now.
I'm listening to Full Scale Aviation podcast, and their concern, their big concern is they're not getting new pilots into the industry, and so you walk through that event and you look at how many kids are out there getting interested in aviation, from the STEM tent to the build tent to the kids up on the flight line. These kids, that's their access to it is this affordable entry level. And then they move on up from there. They can go to school and try to pursue an aviation career, or maybe just want to be civilian pilots. But without that youth interest, you're not going to get that next generation of pilots that they need to keep, to keep it alive.
No, and as much as I like building with balsa and large, the old school kits, which I do love, those just aren't going to draw people in like the new technologies will.
Yeah. So and again, in the store, getting to see the excitement of the folks, and if we're going to talk about kids, since I brought it up, the STEM tent was awesome. Jake and Marshall, man, they are working it. They've got a really good program going. We had a local high school, I think it was a charter school, came.
Yeah, there were a couple of high school level groups that were coming in. On the Friday, there was a air patrol or something like that, civil air patrol that had come in. Sorry, hang on, guys, I'm losing my microphone here.
Looks like you're losing your camera there too.
Anyways, while Joel's gone,
I'm here.
I went with this group, and there was these two girls that were working on a plane, and I look at the wing, and I'm watching them try to put it together. They're having a hard time gluing it together, and they're running out of time. They get close to where they have to, wrap up and finish. So I asked them if they minded me helping them out, and the girls said, "No, come on over." And so they were going to put ailerons on the wing, and it was too late. They weren't going to have time to put them in and cut them and do all the work to be able to get the test flight. So we cut a dihedral into it. Okay. And put it together. And while some of the boys that had their plane already together and went out to test fly with the motor system, I said, you don't have to put a motor on. We can test it right now. So we put some weight on the nose to balance it.
Oh, I remember watching you do that. Yep.
Yeah. We went to a little clear area, and we got to toss it something like a glider. The girls did it, and it flew. Flying, but they didn't think it was going to work. And then Jake was able to set us up with a transmitter and a motor system. And we went out, and they had me do the flying for it.
Oh, that was
put
a mistake, huh?
Well, surprisingly enough, no, it worked. And we flew the plane, got it back, landed it, and one of the girls is like, "Well, can I try it?" And I'm like, "Have you ever flown before?" "No." "Great, let's do it." So the teacher's there. Her brother was, I guess, the guy that had the experience with the RC, which helped kind of introduce her to it. He stood by the girl and gave him guidance on how to move the sticks. We threw the plane up in the air, and she flew it. She flew it for a while.
Awesome.
And the funny thing is, though, before we went out to the flight line, Jake said something was going to fail on the plane. And he was specific about it. And we went out, and the girl was flying, and she banked hard to bring it back towards us. And the wings folded and clapped all the way to the ground. And the girl had this momentary look of horror on her face. I said, "That was awesome. You did fantastic." And I said, "There's nothing, I guarantee there's nothing going to be wrong with that plane that we can't fix in just a few minutes."
Mm-hmm.
And so we went over and said, "Okay, well, what failed and why?" And really what it was is we threw the wing together real quick. We cut a weak spot into it, and we put the dihedral in, and we didn't put any bracing.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing with these kids is, I'm a big fan of not telling kids the answer. I ask them, "What do you think? What do you think the answer is?" And so these girls were really good about it. So we were able to work our way through what the problem was. I said, I told them, I said, "There's nothing to be worried about. This is great because Jake told you this was going to happen." And they kind of remember back that, yeah, he did mention that the wings were, going to fold. So we took it back, we glued it back together, and they could have flown it again. And so these girls were hooked. One girl was a programmer. That's her focus. She likes doing, Arduinos type stuff. Awesome. And things like that. And that's actually how I started talking when they came up to me in the store about it. And so this is kind of funny. So here's a girl that her focus, her what she's interested in, is very rigid. Mm-hmm. If you don't put the right letter, number, or punctuation into a line of code, it don't work. But with the airplane, that's not working so well. Well, let's cut it this way. Let's do this. Let's change that. Exactly. And so it's a very fluid type of thing versus a rigid structure. And she was kind of interested in it. She enjoyed that.
Cool.
So that whole experience was definitely one of the highlights of my trip.
That's great, Fred.
I'd love to see more females get into it.
And there were a lot in the groups that were in as well. Away. No, you know why this is happening. But no, in all seriousness, there were a significant number of girls in those groups, and that was focus. There we go. It was fantastic seeing the number of females who were out and enjoying the event and getting out there and experiencing the hobby. That was something that I greatly enjoyed being out there as well, and going into watching the STEM tent over the course of the weekend. I'm almost certain the girls outnumbered the boys in a good number of those events.
Yeah, it was close on a lot of them.
So, very cool. So continuing on from fun adventures with experimental things that fly, were there any experimentals or things that you saw at the event that piqued your interest, guys?
No, nothing at all. Nothing like that twin motor thing you got a hold of.
No. This is going to be brought up in conversation later. This is a hoot and a half. Anyway, we'll get into this then.
Still waiting for the bill on you building me one.
I told you, it's very simple. I will give you the free plans. You cut it yourself.
I'll pass.
It's a fun one. It's a really, really easy one to build.
I've got some other shit I got to build still.
Watch the language minus the middle. The middle is a bit of fun. Anyway, no. One of the things that really piqued my interest was Horizon Hobby had two rather large foam board home builds that were extremely fun to watch fly. They were a Junkers JU-87, I think was one of them. And the other one, I don't remember what it was, but they were both German twins. and it was a ton of fun
Yeah, it's
watching
just,
those things fly.
Just Lowe's insulation foam. It wasn't
Yep.
anything special. It
Nothing
wasn't anything
spectacular.
and they look great. And I had a laugh. I tried joking with the guys, and apparently the Horizon Hobby guys have a limited.
Oh, come on. That was hysterical when you tried it.
Oh, yeah. I repeated myself multiple times. It still didn't work. They had a little gremlin painted on the front of the plane. And I asked them, I said, is that a mark for every time you've taken down a flight test plane? And they're like, no, that's just a gremlin that we painted on them. Like, no, that's like the little mark where you know, never mind. And yeah, it didn't go. The old planes they'd paint on a little outline silhouette of a plane for every time they took down one of the enemy aircraft. Well, that's what I was getting at, and they weren't seeing it.
Yeah, above the head, below the knees.
Yeah.
Props to trying though, Fred. We know your intentions were good. Nick,
Yeah.
how about you, brother?
It'd probably still have to be those guys. I remember watching them the most, probably because, you know, they were definitely some of the people that were flying over the line.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, between them, probably between that or maybe, I don't know. There was
The
a
guys
few
with
good.
the guys with the billboard foam.
What?
Did you talk to them?
No. What was that
That was the
project?
guys that did that last flight with the big plane they put on top of the UTV.
Oh, I wasn't there for that. I just
Nope,
left.
I was gone.
Yeah, that was pretty much the last thing that was done. So there was these guys over there, and they're building this big, spruce goose is what they're working on, and the foam that they use for the wings apparently was this material that they'd gotten from a company that used it as a billboard material, which I'd never heard of before, using the styrofoam, and the covering that had the actual printed advertising material on it was kind of like credit card plastic, like gift card.
Yeah.
So it
was PVC coated gator board.
Oh yeah, and it was heavy. Oh, and I'm like, this ain't gonna fly. This is not gonna fly. And so it was strong, but it was definitely heavy, and I felt a little uneasy when I saw them trying to put that thing in the air. I had high hopes for them, but also limited expectations. And it did better than I expected. It actually lifted off twice off the top of the UTV and landed successfully once. So
Once.
yeah.
Once.
But it was pretty. They did a nice job. I mean, it looked good. But yeah, those wings, they really should have cut some windows in it and just covered with a plastic tape or something and lightened it up some. It would have been much better because they weren't in any risk of structural weakness on those wings because that was some solid stuff.
Yeah.
Cyborg has a question. So did anything like grow legs this time?
No,
yeah.
not that I heard of.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this time the stem tent got
Really?
Yeah.
That is
Interesting.
Oh man, that's low.
What?
That is-
I did not hear about this. What exactly
Yeah,
happened?
they didn't really advertise. There was a few things that happened that they really didn't make overly public. The stem tent had they'd taken some of the transmitters, batteries, and chargers.
I heard power packs were gone too. So the whole servos, motors. Yeah, unfortunately.
That's all right. We're going to know who took the stuff because they're going to be contacting customer support for help with those radios.
Yeah.
As soon as that email comes in, we got 'em.
Nailed it. Oh, you're in Lake Wales. Okay. Give us a few minutes.
We'll send some personal assistance right to you.
Yeah.
So
Andre's talking about the Flex Innovation pilots. Those guys were pretty amazing to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Did CK show up?
He was actually in Europe, Mike. I asked
was he?
I asked after him for us, yeah.
another set of guys that didn't have exactly as much sense of humor as I'd hoped for.
Another set of guys that flew over the line multiple times.
Yeah.
But they had full control of those aircraft.
Oh, yeah. No,
Did they ever? Did they ever have full control? No.
Unbelievable.
They didn't go far over the line, but yeah, there was a couple times they went over the line.
Yeah. But that was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, there were times we'd be like, me and Andre would be sitting at the line while they were flying, and they would come right up to it as if it was a wall, and they touched it and walked away from it.
Those guys are pretty good pilots.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
I had actually been sent on a mission to harass the guys there. Marco is the rep in this area that sells the Flex Innovation stuff that I bought my Cessna from. And he sent me a message and said that Seth and Josh would be there. And I need to go up there and tell him how great Marco was and how lucky that guy is to know Marco. And unfortunately, I may have caught him, Seth, at a bad time because he was trying to set up while I'm harassing him. And so that might not have been the most opportune time. And I let Marco know that, and he said that just made it funnier. So I did have Seth sign my hat. And because we're getting a theme going on there, I got a Flex hat that Marco signed and Seth signed. And but yeah,
I'm sorry,
Marco,
getting to me, man.
If you're in this region here and you need to buy a Flex aircraft, get up with him. He's been super nice and helpful with me.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, great sense of humor, and yeah, I'll have to try my timing better next time I harass somebody on request.
Oh,
Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it.
Chat made me sit there and burst out laughing while he's talking.
I can't believe Fred would harass anyone.
And the
No,
live
really,
chat is full of the word polo. I'm sure it's probably because of my flight test polo. Is that what you guys are talking about?
Marco.
Polo? Polo? Polo?
Hey, while I was upstairs deballasting and getting a snack, did
Taking
anyone talk
revenge
about,
on the dog?
No, not that. No, the dog totally won that battle. I had no chance whatsoever.
The
That dog is
Chimichanga didn't
foul. No, it not even a bit, man. Not even a bit. So
That's funny stuff.
did you guys talk about the those big foam? What were they like?
Junker
German
JU-87s or something like that. Yeah, we did.
Okay, never mind then. Yeah, bad timing.
Terrible.
Okay.
But anyway, but yeah, as you guys can also tell by what I am holding in my hand, for the last 2 weeks prior to
I don't know.
the
They probably can't if they're just listening to this.
Well, if they're just listening, then you'll have to take a look at the Flight Test fans page where hopefully I would have posted something by now because I still haven't. Anyway, this is the Koala. It is a spin on the twin from Team Legit. It's a spin-off of the Wombat with a little bit of my own flair to it. And I have not been known to build or do anything in preparation for a Flight Fest. But this time, within 2 weeks, I tried to set a goal of getting something that I designed to fly in the air and fly successfully. And I did it. So this is the Koala. She flew absolutely fantastically. I don't know if it's going to make an episode or not. It went in the air about 6 times, as you can tell by a little bit of scarring. She's in need of some tweaks. Yes, I would have let you fly this plane, Andre. I didn't have a battery charged when you wanted to fly it. So this is the little project. It is a twin. It's right now. This is the 2204 2300 kV motors on it. But it could totally be souped up and fly even faster than it already did. But yeah, this is my little Flight Fest project. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, and those motors are totally underpowered.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So the funniest thing is Nick was there when we were doing some stall testing in it, and we literally pegged it full back. It did not stall. It pretty much just glided, and then you peg the throttle to full, and all of a sudden you just see it. Zoom, and it just took right off in a straight line. It was absolutely hysterical. Yeah, it's a goofy airplane, so I'm very happy with the results of it. But we'll be adjusting the plans, and we'll get it up there for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah, I'll enjoy it when you build me and send it to me.
Yeah, I had
Mhm.
Eric Farwell was asking similar questions, and I said, "Well, you have to wait until the foam board kit comes out."
So would a 2204 2300 work on it?
Yep. That's
Perfect.
exactly what's
Oh,
on right now. And
good.
with 12 amp ESCs, it was a little rocket ship. So
I got some 18, so that'll work.
yeah, this is actually a little underpowered compared to what I think it can do. So yeah, we'll have to pop some red bottoms on here and 30 amp ESCs and a little bit of a bigger battery. Right now she's a wee bit too nose heavy, annoyingly enough. So we're gonna do some things to adjust it, and she'll be way easier. No, this does not use a power pod. In answer to your question, Jim. Sorry, Aerogeek. So yeah, these are just glued straight onto the nacelles. But yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It tracked like a freaking arrow. It was amazing. But yeah, we did that. We did some DLG flying. That was a lot of fun.
Oh God!
Did you break any?
Slightly scary. I broke my own. I didn't break anyone else's this time. I actually. Do you remember the when we were flying it the last time, and I had broken the carbon fiber rod that goes out to the tail? Yeah, I did that again. It's a very happy DLG. It wags its tail now.
Nice.
Yeah, I did get a kick out of that. I got to meet some people that I've talked to for a while and never actually got to meet in person. Brian was one of them, and man, he volunteer, and that guy was constantly working.
Well, that's one of the reasons I was totally bummed about not going to Flite Fest South, because we're talking about Brian Liam.
Yeah.
Dude,
and
he's been so good to me, and I so want to meet him in person. Yeah,
him and his wife Lourdes. Lourdes, his wife, is also absolutely fabulous.
She and I got fantastic.
Oh yeah, she's a hoot. She also went and did the skydiving experience that they had done, and yeah, it was a ton of fun.
Well, you don't
low elevation. Low elevation RC. I'm just going to answer your question real quick. Yes, and for us, yes.
Don't forget to mention she also bought him a trip in the pits.
Yes, that is correct.
Right. Yes.
That is correct, and well deserved too.
And he tells a funny story. So Brian apparently gets in the plane, and the pilot's like, "Well, I understand, sir, that your wife has let me know that you've got some issues where we're going to take an easy flight for you." He's like, "Heck with that! I paid for the e-ticket. Let's do everything." And,
good for Brian.
think, well, sir, we're gonna take a couple of test maneuvers and see. And no, apparently after that it was all go, because he went through the initial couple of low G stuff, and it was game on after that. So he had a phenomenal time.
Oh man, did he love to tell the story when he landed? Oh, it was such an honor to work with him too, being a volunteer alongside him.
And that was the thing too. I noticed it was a smaller crew of volunteers than what we have at an event. But
even smaller than they budgeted for as well. And
I think we had 30.
Yeah, even with that,
30.
even I think 50 had registered, but yeah, 30 actives.
Wow, that's small.
And it was smaller than that. I mean, because I could say probably 10 volunteers I saw being really active as far as volunteering. But yeah, but the guys that did,
I'm sorry you had to look at me that much. Oh.
We all are, Nick.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, it was a good crew. The volunteers were phenomenal. I like I said, I got to meet up and hang out with some folks. I got to meet Ron Balake.
Ron Balake.
That man.
I bumped into him at other events, but this is the first time I actually got to talk to. That was the cool thing with this, is I actually got to spend a little time actually talking to people. I was very freelance on my volunteer work. I didn't actually sign up with Andre and let him direct me. On that. No,
I wouldn't have let him either. You did the right thing.
So I just definitely went where it looked like the need was, and so that made it really fun and enjoyable. But getting to hang out and actually talk to some of the guys. You know, of course, Dan and Josh. Those guys are always good to hang out with. Minimal visit with Joel, not intentional.
Yeah, it was not intentional.
Sorry, Joel.
No offense taken.
Nick, I did try to kill him.
It's about time we tell the story.
Yeah, it was later in the evening, and I was getting hungry. So Nick says, "Hey, listen, I need some ice, anyways. You know, do you mind if I ride with you?" Or I asked him if he want to go with me, whatever. And so off we went, and we wandered throughout Lake Wales, and finally find some food and get him his ice, and had some interesting encounters with
Taco Bell was funny.
Taco Bell, and the guy that was upset because he couldn't change the drink in the case of sodas with one in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Just wanted to take one out of the box and switch it out with one in the fridge.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah. Lake Wales was interesting. So what was that? Was it a Tom Thumb or some sort of little gas station? You know, Gas and Go, whatever it was. And I walk in there to buy some ice cream, and this guy is in there, and he's getting mad at the lady behind the counter because he wanted to take one soda out of the case that he just bought and switch it with one that was in the refrigerator. Well, unfortunately, they didn't have canned sodas in the fridge. They had bottles. But, you know, he wasn't listening to that. He decided to get angry and throw him out. And all I could think of is, you know, if that was me, I would have asked for a cup of ice. I could just pour my soda. If you want a cold drink, just get a cup of ice from them at the counter there, and they probably would have done that. But
thinking's hard.
Yeah. So Nick and I are on our way out of there, and it's dark, and we pull up to a stoplight.
Oh God, this stoplight's horrible.
Oh yeah. So you know the red light glare, you know, blasting us in the face, and then all of a sudden, green light is bathing us. Go. We get about 2/3 of the way through the intersection. I realized, that green light.
I don't think it was that far. We got maybe a third. You hit the brakes, and we're like, and then hit the gas again.
Yeah. We realized that the green light was actually for the other direction of traffic, and the stoplights there have no shields over the lights, so it looked green to us. And there
was something wrong.
Yep, you're right, Pat. Thinking is hard.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Both of us agree. We both thought the light had turned green because we're just sitting there talking because, you know, Nick and I never get to see each other. So we weren't staring at the light. All of a sudden, green light is filling up the cab of the Jeep, and, you know, hit the gas and go. But yeah, so if any other traffic had been coming, Nick would have been a goner. So.
Well, the semi was on your side of the vehicle, but it was on its way through.
Well, I'm glad Fred didn't kill you, Nick.
Yeah. Me
Second.
too. But it was pretty bad, and I will agree. When we both realized and we looked up at the light, we had a red light and a green light pointing at us, or at least that's what it looked like.
Yeah. I don't know if the light is just at an angle, so it's, you know, you're catching both sides of the same, you know, pedestal of lights, but yeah.
That's crazy.
So distracted driving is dangerous driving, kids.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't drive with friends.
Yeah, just pick up people you don't know. That way you don't have.
Yeah, that way you're not interested in talking to them. So, but I do have to say I don't say I left him out. I just didn't mention him yet. I got to meet Jeremy. That's on the flight test crew.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, he was that guy. Yeah, I said about a few people, but he was hilarious. If you see his Mr. Flight Test picture,
that was amazing.
He is.
And you guys, Pat and Mike, you guys met Jeremy this summer.
Oh, I know Jeremy pretty well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's definitely got enough personality. He should be on camera, not behind it. But
agreed. No, that guy deserves an episode all to himself because he is so funny and such a character. And I agree, his personality is definitely one that doesn't deserve to just be exclusively hidden behind the camera.
I'll have to put a link to my.
You're talking about Jeremy setting in the little coupe.
Oh yeah, that Jeremy. That's the one.
Yeah. So
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. There was just a lot of people that I got to hang out with and meet and just made the whole trip. Bob's wife. Now, so you got background Bob. He was there.
Bob Parmalee. We love Bob.
Love Bob.
He is a great guy, but his wife was phenomenal. So
Yeah, haven't met her, so.
my introduction to his wife was her smacking me across the head.
Well, there you go. She's
Well,
heard about you then.
Yeah, goddamn. I mean, she knows you.
She's in the store taking pictures, and I said, "No photographs, ma'am." And she turns around and smacks me in the head. And it just went downhill from there. But no, she was awesome. She and I got along great. I had a fun time. At least I got along with her great. Maybe she was serious. I thought she was kidding. But we had a fun time joking back and forth. So Bob's got a heck of a woman there.
That's good. We love Bob.
We love background Bob.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
He's so far from being a background Bob, though.
So on that note, I forget who I was talking to. And I wish I could remember because what he came up with was hilarious. So we're talking about Bob and how he does kind of, do a lot of that background work. He's always behind the scenes and keeping things running and doing stuff. And, I turned around to point him out and he was missing, And so the guy turns around and says to me, he says, so he's in Bob Nito.
Oh, boy.
And
oh, boy.
I told Josh, and Josh thought it was funny, saying we need to get him a shirt that says Incognito.
There you go. I like it.
Incognito.
That's great.
That is funny.
I like it.
All right, I think there's one more story that deserves to be told before we wrap up the Flight Fest South show, and I think Nick is the one to tell this story.
Okay. I'll probably get a lot of hate from a certain someone.
Well, that's if he watches, which I doubt it.
Well, it'll just be funny anyway. So, I had a lot of background conversations between some of the guys, Chad Capper and whatnot, and talking around. And I've actually got a few others that work with him now that are talking with me, just laughing like crazy. But if anyone remembers the nice green and black Rotor Riot stickers that they were handing out at Flight Fest,
Elb.
I ended up
color eggs.
I ended up with a ton of them because every time I'd walk past, they would take some stickers, take some stickers, take some stickers. And thanks, guys, because they came in handy. Unknowingly at the time, a certain someone who handed me stickers got some stickers back in return. The best part.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's some well, I'm sure a lot of people know there's a little bit of drama in the Rotor Riot scene right now. A lot of
right now.
A little bit.
Just right now.
just a little bit.
Just started. Just today and yesterday.
Yeah. Considering I did this last weekend. But anyway, so Mr. Steele happened to have his van at the event, and I decided to be a little bit of a comedic effect and bring some happiness and joy to some of the other people that I kind of think are more in the right in the situation. Personal opinions aside, I put a bunch of these stickers all over Mr. Steele's van. And by Sunday morning, I got to have a little fun with Joel, since he happened to be in the cart at the time.
Yes.
And we went past the van, and all the stickers had been removed.
With the exception
of one that I had to check on. And I didn't know if he was in the van at the time or anything else, so I'm trying to be quiet.
We believe he was.
We believe he was in the van at the time, and there's a window open. So, we're trying to be quiet, and I open the cover to the gas cap lid. Just open up this nice white metal cover, and there's the sticker still standing there. And I'm, everyone was like, oh, I wish I seen his face when he seen him. No, I don't care about his face when he first seen the stickers. I want to know the face of him trying to drive home, getting to a gas station, probably late at night, opening up the fuel door, and there's one last sticker in his face. That's the face I wanted to see.
Yep.
110%. 100%.
But yeah, if I ever see that van again, I still got plenty of stickers.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, do either of you guys have any other questions for any of the guests that we have on our beautiful show this evening?
No, I don't think I do. Other than I did want to ask Fred about what he really thought of Andre's organizational skills at Flite Fest.
That's a very nice way to put it, Mike.
Well, you know.
Wait a second. Is he listening right now?
Yes.
No.
That's going to sway my answer. If he wasn't listening, I would have been nice. But since he's here, all I saw him do was eat and drink and
stand around.
Didn't see him do anything. And that's, if you look at any of my pictures, I made sure that the only pictures I took of him was him eating or sitting down.
Yeah,
Or standing around.
He did a lot of posing for photos, I
He
noticed.
did pose a lot.
Yeah.
Andre
Definitely
posing
postal.
for photos? I don't believe it. Next thing you're going to try telling me is he takes selfies.
And post them on Instagram? No.
If I add one more thing to that, for anyone that's in chat or anyone who's listening in, if you happen to be my friend on Facebook, there is actually a live video that I took where I start on the flight line and I catch a glimpse of him, and that's when, during the live video, I go and sticker the van. So for quite a few of those stickers, horribly shot, mind you, because I'm trying to do multiple things at once, you can actually watch a video of me putting the first few stickers on.
Yes, and it was fantastic.
It was fantastic. Well done, sir. Well done.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you from
And
all of
it
us.
is-
Yes,
Thank
seriously.
you from all of us, including Eddie Black. He sends his thank you as well.
Dude,
Yes.
Eddie was talking to me like before I did it and everything, and he's like, I'll give you this and I'll give you this. I'll send you this.
Mhm.
And
Oh boy.
oh, it was beautiful, and the most gratitude that I got was probably between Chad Capper and one of the guys that works for him. You know, all of a sudden those guys were talking to me like crazy and just, you know, nothing but smiles, and it made their day, and that's all that mattered at that point in time.
I can tell you that he even got in contact with me and said, "Did you see?" And I said, "Yes, I did," and I was very proud. And that boy's my hero.
I texted Mike. I said, "Nick's my hero."
Yep. Well, that's not quite the way I put it when I said it to Chad, but
Well, I'm sure there was a
yeah, there was a
There are
few
some-
expletives in there.
There
but
are expletives that we
you are my blankety blank hero.
happy to have served.
Yeah, and it's appreciated, and I will buy you a beer when we see each other, or 14,
Hey, me too, bud.
Yeah.
however many it takes.
Oh, be more than happy to sit at a fire or something,
Yes,
drink some beers with you guys.
Can't wait.
absolutely.
Can't
Can't wait.
Oh.
So, have you guys got any thoughts after the fact that you might want to share with everybody?
You guys go first. I'll wrap my thought up here.
Geez, thoughts after the fact. It was just an amazing event. It was really good to sit down and talk with some people and work side by side with some of the most hard-working volunteers that I've been able to actually spend some time with. I know.
Yeah, unlike Pat and I.
Well, for the most of the time at East, as we're calling it now, it's, you know, very, very much go, go, go. You're doing as much as you can and getting around. You don't get to sit and talk too much
Not until
when you're yeah. So being able to spend some time and talk with some people was quite nice for
That's
the
cool.
relaxed atmosphere of it.
Awesome.
I'll say this is the first time I actually got to work with the wives. And man, that left me in awe. These women are so supportive of the husbands. And they genuinely seem to enjoy the interaction, the work, the helping out. Elizabeth, Stefan's wife, she's awesome. She was a hoot.
Yes.
She and I got to work together some, and we used to work together a little bit when she was doing support. So it was kind of nice to be able to catch up face to face and interact on some of that. Meeting some of the guys from the forums. I got to meet Griff Flyer. Okay.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Now I'm watching the stuff that Griff was doing, and I'm thinking this is a guy, older guy. No, Griff's a young man, and
Really?
the stuff he's building, we got to see in person. Phenomenal builder. This kid's awesome, and so had a fun opportunity with him. The Heads Up RC guy had said something to me.
Whoa, wait, stop. So Heads Up was there?
Heads Up was there, and so
okay. I'm sorry, Flight Test, but Heads Up Hobbies is my go-to online vendor.
Yeah,
bar none, the best.
And I've been following them for years, buying stuff and using their website for information for years.
Fantastic people. Oh, so helpful to me.
So the guy asked me, he says he's putting together a little mini bike, like the old slow bike, and he was asking if I knew anybody that would test fly for him. And I'm thinking, he's asking me, and I'm not real comfortable doing that. And I'm thinking, it'd be better to have one of these young people that are good pilots put it, up in the air. And I had just watched Griff Flyer, who had given some foam to the day before. The next morning, he had an EDF jet that he had built overnight and went out and flew the thing. And it was awesome. It was this little foam board EDF he just threw together overnight, and it flew awesome. Nice. So I said, here's your guy. I brought him over. They talked for a little bit. They got everything worked out. So the kid puts the plane up in the air, and he's flying it around, and he's having a little bit of a hard time with it. It's not quite trimmed in or anything. And he's a little nervous. He's flying a new plane from the store. And but then he starts getting comfortable, and he gets all stunty with it and having a good time and rolling and flipping and doing stuff, and brings it in and lands it. And I asked him, I said, well, what do you think? He said, it could do some work. So it's funny. So we go back over and we bring the plane back to the guy at the table. I'm embarrassed. I'm forgetting the gentleman's name. And the Heads Up RC guy. And he asked him, he says, well, what'd you think of it? He says, it was a good plane. He says, you want to keep it? And he's like, well, I don't know. He didn't know what to say. Griff was kind of surprised by that. So, he took it, and I asked him later. I sent him a message online, and he says, yeah, once it was trimmed in, it was a great flying plane. But yeah, that first flight without being trimmed and feeling the pressure of his dad. They had cameras out filming it so they could use it maybe as a demo video or something.
Oh my gosh!
No pressure, but the kid handled it well.
Yeah.
How old is he? How old is he? Because I'm with you. I got the impression he was an older guy.
Well, according to Jim, he's an 8th grader.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say somewhere 12, 14 in that range. Sorry, Griff, if you're listening, I'm wrong. But here's where it gets even funnier. So I got a message from a guy who used to be a volunteer at my park. He's over in Pensacola watching the Blue Angels air show. And he sends me a picture saying, hey, listen, I'm seeing some, Flight Fest shirts here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. He sends me a picture, and I look at it, and I'm like, that's Griff.
Oh, okay. So that was the kid.
So that was Griff.
Okay.
Picture. Oh, that's awesome.
He's almost local to me. So I said, man, we got to go fly together sometime.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, he's there at these, and I had to laugh because he was wearing the same outfit that he wore down at Flight Fest. I'm sure it's been washed since then. It's been a week. But, the shirt and the shorts were the same. And, so I had to rib him a little bit about that because I'm guilty of doing that same thing. I'll wear the, same combination shirt and shorts and stuff. So, But that was fun, getting to meet up with those folks. And I like I said, that's a whole podcast, just going through the people that I got to talk to and meet and hang out with and help, get their planes flying. And like the mom and son that came to me, they had a problem. They broke the prop and they were having trouble with it was the FT Corsair, little mini.
Okay.
It's his first plane.
Oh, ouch.
And he did a good job building it. or one of his first planes. Did a good job building it, but was having some trouble flying it. I guess someone test flew it for him and said it was squirrely. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it. And so we get it up, and I'm going to trim it in for him. Here, and give it some up elevator, and down it goes.
Oh.
And, that was a little awkward. And he said, yeah, that channel's reversed. So, yeah, you should have told me that first, but I should have checked. But they said they test flew it, and the guy said it was squirrely. Well, yeah.
Squirrely?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
So we got it fixed up, and actually, I was able to get a couple flights in, trimmed it in, and oh my goodness, for this plane, I'm guessing it's his first build or one of his first builds. He did a good job because it tracked like rails once we trimmed it.
Nice.
And so he wanted to fly it, but it was twilight, and I was having a hard time seeing it. I said, no, save it for tomorrow. And so he took it home with them, and I'm hoping he had some success flying it. But his mom was thrilled because, that was one of the things is that a lot of these people aren't used to that kind of support and that kind of help and people just being that generous with their time. And you saw that all over the place. I mean, the guys in the build tent were helping each other and making friends, and I'm sure there was
exactly. Same spirit as we used to seeing at every Flight Fest, and it's fantastic to see that even not at the main event, a little further away from Ohio, that everyone can still a lot. Guys, I'm tired. I've driven 2.5 hours today from South Florida, so I'm a little out of it. But yeah, no, I have to echo the.
Wait, Joel.
Yeah, stop.
You're talking to the guy who drove from Michigan.
No,
Lake Florida
today.
and back.
Today.
I know today.
Today.
Still.
Okay. So you're telling me an hour shorter drive than me going to Ohio for Flight Fest?
No. I'm saying.
It's like a 3-hour drive for me to get to East.
Deeper here, Joel.
I'm saying I am exhausted tonight from a 2-hour drive. Anyway, never mind.
You do realize this trip.
Yes, don't you? Yes. Okay. I got it.
No, I don't think you do. This trip one way without stopping was 1,183 miles.
Okay, but you're not doing a podcast.
He showed up and was volunteering at an event.
Anyway, moving on. So anyway, yes.
I don't need you. TJ already took an interview of me while I was there.
Good, excellent. All right. Anyway.
I still love you, Nick.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, but yeah, no, as I said, these guys are giving me a hard time because I only drove an hour to get down to the event each way. It was very, very easy for me to scurry back home after the event and enjoy the amenities of being at home. Anyway. Yeah, a little short on energy. Yeah, little short would be right.
Give him some leeway. He's a current member of the Lollipop Guild.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, on that,
Joel was acting like a 3-year-old. I could,
on that bombshell. That
bombshell, you get to go home and take a shower. While for me to take a shower, I had to fix the trailer 3 times.
Yeah. I'm not upset about that because I got the great end of the deal there.
Shut it off.
He's not upset about it.
Hey, I gotta say something though about those showers. Once we got them fixed, dude, like they were so hot, you literally like just about couldn't stay in the shower. Compared to East, it was like.
Well, East, the showers didn't get hot. Period.
At East, it was lucky if you had water pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, at East, it was lucky that you didn't have 2 inches of mud in the bottom of the shower.
At East, you were lucky if you were there before the dang shower closed.
At East, I took a shower. It wasn't a shower. I hosed myself off with John Fury's hose on the backside of the hangar. That's how I bathed that night.
Did you guys see that? When I first get down there, I'm looking, and there's an airplane. And that sure looked a lot like John Fury's airplane. I ran the end number on it, and sure enough, that's who it was. John was down there for a while.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
John came down for a little bit, and then he flew back home.
Man, I was so happy to see him.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a good
such a good dude.
Yeah, yeah. And as chat's
Good
saying, we did fix him. We ended up having to zip tie a hose that was on him because we had a couple times we walk up to the showers and they were just leaking. Like, it's just the doors are pouring water, and it's like, what the heck is going on? Oh,
All right.
yeah.
sorry.
There was a few times we had to fix those shower trailers, but they were really nice. They were brand new units, and the hot water, the instant hot water heaters were
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
That
that's
worked well.
awesome that they put those on there.
When the water was turned on.
When the water was turned on, yes.
That's important.
Yes.
Yeah, we had
Details.
we had someone turning the water hose off, and it would
Oh,
pop the
goodness.
breaker for the pump.
Well, it was funny because I'm walking my way over there. I think it was Ron was trying to get in there. And I'm like, Ron, stop. And he's like, well, I'm about to get naked. What do you want? And then he realized what I was doing. I was trying to sneak into the shower before he got into it. So he runs in there and he locks the door. And it's like Superman because he's in there for only a minute. And he pops back out. And, he's like, the water's not working. It's not working. And he looks over and he sees the next shower trailer has a door open. And bam, off he goes. He starts running for that one.
Freaking.
So Rick and I are there like, oh, well, we'll just fix this
Yeah,
one.
it's like that's our job. It's like, hey, I'm a volunteer. The park ranger here loves to just sit there and fix things. So, yeah, we set to work to
Yeah,
have a shower trailer all to ourselves.
Oh my goodness.
I'll definitely say that, if you go to an event like this, and even I had the kind of a feeling like, I don't want to go there and get committed as a volunteer and have to do the work. I'm there to have a good time. I'll tell you right now, volunteer, jump in there and get it. You get to meet more people and you get to interact with more people. You have an excuse to say hi to people because you're either doing the registration or you're helping them in the store or you're in the build tent or even if you're out there, changing out the toilet paper or fixing a shower, you're interacting with people.
I hear there's some photos of me changing toilet paper.
Oh boy.
I agree. Volunteering at that event is the most rewarding part of it.
Yep.
Yes.
And you're going to get you wouldn't normally talk to these people,
Right.
I mean, you're interacting with people and look at the friendships we made from, a lot of us are volunteers at various flight tests, or flight fests. So there's something to be said about it. Definitely sign up and take.
Fred, I just want to say, Fred and I just celebrated our 6-year friend anniversary on Facebook.
Yeah.
Aw, happy friend anniversary. That's adorable.
I'm so glad Facebook has that kind of memory.
So
Speaking
that
of,
you don't have to remember it.
I didn't get a card, Fred.
speaking of Fred, he's saying, yeah, let's not go there.
You got the video card.
Yes,
He-
I did.
But anyway, so Fred's saying let's not go there, as in the toilet paper exchange. That was fun. Let's
That's
just
not Fred.
boy.
yeah. Now I'm getting tired. Thanks, Joel.
Yep, you're welcome. And on that note, guys, does anyone have any last things that they want to contribute before we wrap everything up? Real quick, I do just want to see if the voicemail system will allow me to play the 2 voicemails that we received this week.
Oh, we only got
Awesome.
2.
Yeah, here we go. Let's try the
Yeah.
first one.
Is that Darth Vader coming?
Yeah, did you listen to him first?
Yes, these
Okay.
are pre-screened.
Darn.
So,
I was
hang
gonna
on.
Sorry, Andre.
unedited.
It is playing, but you guys can't hear what's going on, can you?
I can't hear a thing.
No.
Okay.
I
Hang on.
can read one of them.
Hang on 1 second. I will just tweak one
Or I
thing,
can
and then we'll be able
Actually
to
play
hear
it
them.
through my phone.
Oh, we could
Joel
do it
has-
that way. Actually,
Well, I got the latest one we just got.
yeah.
I'll
do that one
You got the 2, and you got that one, and I'll get the previous one. Hang on.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna play the first one now. Come on.
Hey, it's John from New Jersey, and I'd like to register a complaint. I'm standing here trying to build my air tractor for a banner tow, and I'm listening to your podcast, and I can't get any work done. Far too entertaining. All right, blue sky, guys.
You know what?
John, thanks so much,
Air
buddy. We
trackers
appreciate
suck.
you listening.
Yeah, really.
Oh.
All right, and this guy's is the second voicemail.
Hey guys, bearded Raleigh here from Northern California. I actually want to be the first one to actually leave my name, which is just Raleigh, not bearded Raleigh, but that's who I go by. So if you feel like looking me up, seeing some funny stuff on the YouTubes and whatnot, check it out. Thanks, guys. Love the show. Keep up the good work.
And thanks to Raleigh as well.
Yeah,
Thank you, bearded Riley.
you guys are awesome. So, guys, if you do want to get in touch with us and leave us a voicemail, we'll get the voicemail system fixed up by the next episode. But the phone number is 802-465-FTCC. That's 802-465-FTCC. Guys, I'm sorry. I have been so very out of it today. I barely said a word, which is very unusual for me.
Barely said a word. Come on.
Oh, come on. I haven't said that much. I'm just self-incriminated. But anyway, guys, I'm Baby Brett FEV. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all of the socials. You can catch me there. I'll be posting up some. I owe you guys 2 videos, so they'll be appearing on my YouTube page at some point during the week. So thank you guys so much again for following and listening along. We'll do the show Instagram and Facebook here just as soon as these guys go ahead and wrap on up. Go on, Mike. You take the reins next.
Okay. Of course, I'm Mike Finley, the magic one on the forums, the magic one on Google, Instagram, all that stuff. So if you guys want to be my friend, you go ahead and put it up there. If you can't get it through Facebook, private message me. I'll add you as a friend. I want to be friends with everyone.
Am I next?
Yeah.
And that's
Hey. Okay. I know. Hi. I'm Patrick Sean Murphy. You can find me on Facebook. Just look up Patrick Sean Murphy. That's SHAWN, spelled incorrectly, by the way. And I'm pretty much on Facebook, and I have an account on. I don't know what it is. It might be Instagram. It might be. I don't think it's Snapchat because I don't think I do that.
Don't do
I'm
Snapchat,
sure,
Pat. It will confuse you more.
Yeah.
I don't think I do it for the Vine. So I think I'm just on Facebook and a really sparsely lonely account on
Instagram that you can't figure out. It's okay. We'll get you there.
No, I can figure it out. I just, once
Nick and Fred, go on. You guys share your handles.
Fred, go ahead.
Oh, okay, I will. I'm Fred Pros. I'm Flying Monkey on most places online. And I'm on the Facebook and stuff like that too.
And finally, Nick.
I'm Nicholas
Did I do
Simpson.
it wrong?
Yes, you did. Yes. Anyway, guys, I'm Nicholas Simpson. Flying Simpson on Instagram. Simpson on the forums. Very sparsely on there nowadays, but yeah.
So you can find all of us on all of our social channels. Guys, we are so very thankful for everyone listening. This has been a little bit of a roller coaster and a riot of a show, as I have the where is it? That side, the Disney fireworks playing us off. Guys, to all of you who listen regularly, please make sure we are a little bit short. And I do want to bring it up. We have received 2 reviews on iTunes that we missed because they didn't show up, which is amazing. So we'll quickly bring those up here. While I'm talking about the reviews, you guys can find us all over the web at ftccpodcast.com. You can find our links to all of our previous shows on there. We're a little bit behind, but I'll catch us back up. We'll be back up there. This is actually going to be our last show before Thanksgiving. So we also want to wish everybody a very warm and happy Thanksgiving. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, a very happy and warm Veterans Day. And thank you so much to all of our vets for their service. Guys, you can find us on Facebook at FTCC Podcast. You can find us on Instagram by the same handle. Just search Flight Test Community Podcast, and you'll find us pretty quickly.
And per Jim the Lobster Man, we have a YouTube channel as well.
Yes, please like, subscribe, and make sure you ring that bell. That makes you aware of all the little notifications that we get. All right, so here we go, guys. You ready?
Yep.
These are as of May 21st, 2017. This is the first one that we had missed. This is coming in from Captain D5. These guys are knowledgeable and fun to listen to. They also have great guests on the show. 5 stars. Thank you so much for that, Captain 5. And BF. Love this. 5 stars. Great group who enjoy the hobby and can tell they love to help people.
That's awesome.
Is the guy who commented about us being knowledgeable? Do you think he's commenting on the right podcast?
I think so. But then we have one more.
I don't know about if he's got the right knowledge, but we do have great guests.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. This is another really great one. We have David Jones, White Falcon FPV from May 9th. Joel, Mike, and Pat have taken what was once a sporadically posted podcast, I don't know where he got that idea from, and made it into an influential part of the RC community, discussing everything from fixed wing to multi-rotors to full scale, and never ceases to entertain and enlighten. One day, maybe Joel will even show us how to make a bloody ripper. Keep up the show, the good show, boys. So thank you guys so very much.
Thank you so much,
guys. You have no idea how much the ratings affect where we sit on iTunes. So please, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead, write us a review. We really appreciate it.
Let them know how much you want me back on and how much you want Fred back on.
That's right.
You know, because all the comments help. But guys, we're going to go ahead and let you go for the evening. And thank you so much for listening and downloading the show. And from all of us here at FTCC, blue skies, and we will catch you on the next one.
Yep. And I do want to say, go out and watch Flight Test, check out Rotor Riot, and don't forget to check out the RC After Hours podcast. And also, Nick, hold up that shirt.
Free fall.
We want
free fall.
Push the free fall RC guys because Fred's on there quite often.
These guys.
That one.
Them guys.
I've only fallen asleep on there once lately.
Oh, there you go. It's better than that.
That's Pat's job.
Yeah.
I only did it once. I didn't fall asleep. I passed out.
So yes, blue skies, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Take it easy, everybody.
In a couple of weeks.
Good night, guys.